All right, Suzanne, take it away.
You bet. Thank you, Jefferson. And thank you all for participating with us. I'm Suzanne Brooks, Director of the Meeting of Annual Session for the ODA, and Amy Semany and I are partners in making sure that you have the best experience at Annual Session that you possibly can have. The exhibit hall is extremely important to our meeting, and that makes each of you very important to us. So thank you for that. We do have a lot of things scheduled, which you'll hear about in the hall, including it is a 2-day hall, Thursday and Friday. And both days we have extended lunch hours from 12 to 2 on Thursday and 12 to 2:30 on Friday, where we're serving free lunch in the hall to all attendees, and we don't have any other CE classes going on. In addition to that, we also have a reception on Thursday evening from 5 to 6, again, with no other CE classes, and inviting everybody to come into our Hops and Shops program. We've got a lot of activities, including our attendees choosing the best of show, selecting the exhibitor that they like the best. So please take the information that you're learning today, turn it into a great exhibit floor opportunity. And thank you so much for being with us today and in September. Jefferson, it's all yours.
All right, let me get my camera on here. Hello, everybody, wherever you're logged in for. Jefferson Davis here. Super excited to be with you for this 1 hour of trade show power. We're going to talk today about, I think, what is one of the most important factors that impacts every exhibitor's success, and that is how to get in the mind and get on the agenda of enough of the right attendees. That is the equivalent to winning the show before the doors open. And not enough exhibitors put in enough work in this area. Too many show up and do what I call exhibit by hope. They rent space, they show up, they hope. They hope enough dental professionals come to the show. They hope they get in the hall. They hope they pass their booth. They hope they stop and engage. And here's the key. Hope is not a strategy, right? If you're going to win this game, you got to put in the work in these days and weeks leading up to showtime. And that's what we're going to walk you through here today. So you've probably seen me around, been around the trade show industry for many, many, many years. I've never viewed a show as a place to show up, fly the flag, scan badges, hand out tchotchkes, and go home. I've always viewed it as a place where I had to make $1 do the work of 10. To that, I'm extremely results focused, clear outcomes, and process based. Have a game plan on how to get there. I've worked with so many exhibiting companies, trained over 100,000, and of the companies that I know of that we've worked together, including several in the dental industry, combined, we've pulled over $800 million out of our trade show programs. So if there's one thing I know with absolute certainty, it's this. If you see trade shows properly and you execute them properly, what you can get can blow your mind. And that's what all of us want for you, and that's why we're here today. Okay, now, one of the cool things about when you partner with the Ohio Dental Association is they see their relationship with you and your company as a long-term partnership with the goal of helping you grow your dental business. And to that end, they don't just rent you concrete and hope it works out. I think we're in our 8th or 9th year now. They've been making a year-over-year investment in exhibitor support programs to help you get maximum value. And the centerpiece of the program is what you're seeing on the screen. It's called the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. It's got over $10,000 of proven effective content. There's a lot of content up there, so we organized it into a 5-step consumption plan. You can download tools. You can complete planning exercises. You can watch webinars like this. You can read dozens of articles broken down by topic, and at any time on your journey, you got questions. I'm here for you. All free, right? No sales pitches. My passion in life is I don't think it's right that companies spend a lot of money on shows and don't get results. You ought to be able to get what you want from shows. I know you can, but you've got to put in the work. And that's what I've been doing for over 30 years now. And this is all free, by the way. Many shows, they charge you for everything. They nickel and dime you. Not the Ohio Dental Association. You have a true partner here that if that Midwestern, those 5 Midwestern states are important to you, the dental market in those 5 states, you're in the right show. I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, I'm urging you, do your part, put in the work. If you put in the work, the rewards will blow your mind. So let's jump in. Let's get rolling on this, okay? So many things to do to put together your exhibit program, right? But what is the most important thing that is going to determine win, loss, success, failure? Think about that for a moment. And by the way, go ahead to your chat or your question queue. What do you think right now? If there were one factor that you think is going to determine whether you succeed or fail at a trade show, what is that factor? Go to your question and type right now. Whatever comes to your mind. This is not a judgment. I'm just trying to see what you think the answer is. So let's see. One thing that's going to make or break you. Don't be shy. Okay. Do not be shy. They say timid marketers don't get results. So you got to be bold here. I'm looking for one thing. There's several of you on the webinar with me today. Tell me what you think that one thing is. One thing that's going to determine your success. I'm pausing. I'm going to count. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Oh, finally, we got an answer. Whether or not we get enough leads from the show. Yeah, that's certainly going to be a factor. But let me bring you my answer to it, okay? I think it's going to come down to this. It's going to be your ability as an exhibitor in this show to selectively attract, key phrase, and meaningfully interact, another key phrase, with enough of the right attendees. That's the mission. That is the challenge. That is the task at hand. If you do this, you will win not only at the ODA annual meeting, you'll win at every show you do. If you don't do this, you're going to struggle. Simple as that, right? I'm just calling it straight out. Will you be able to selectively attract and meaningfully interact with enough of the right people? Okay. So there's 2 keys to achieving this outcome. Okay. Number one is you've got to design an effective booth. Okay. A booth that grabs attention, that quickly answers the what we do, why you should care, and who we are message in the mind of the attendee. A booth that is easy to enter. A booth that has something meaningful for the attendee to do in the booth, so they learn something about your products, your services, and how they can help them improve their patient care, their practice management, their career development. Any one or a combination of those things. That's what they want. Okay. And the second key is promoting it before and during the show. And so we're really going to dive in today for the rest of our time, the next 30, 40 minutes together here. We're going to dive in on this promoting before and during to do what? Make sure you attract enough of the right people. All right. So pre-marketing, it's not a maybe. It's not a, oh, I would like to if I could find time or money. I'm telling you, it's a critical success factor. It is right at the top of the list of the things that are going to determine whether you win or lose. 2 ways to exhibit. You can exhibit by objectives, where you've got outcomes and a plan, or you can exhibit by hope. Don't exhibit by hope. Okay, so 5 big benefits of putting in some work between now and when you get there. Number one, listen carefully, attendees pay closer attention to marketing media in the weeks and the months leading up to a show than at any other time during the year. Their radar is more open. Why? They know they're going to the ODA meeting. They're looking for information that is relevant and important to them. And this is the time when you can catch them when their mind is more open, maybe than any other point during the year. Okay, and that's point 1 and 2. Their minds are more open. A good pre-marketing campaign, if you're new or you're relatively unknown, can quickly build and establish brand awareness. And if you're already known, then it can help you drive both pre-show and at-show visitor engagement, which is what it's all about, right? Number 4. Now, the ODA is what I would call a intimate expo. I've walked that exhibit floor several times. It's a very easy show to navigate. In my opinion, there is no bad booth location on the ODA floor. Now, if you get in some of the bigger shows, like CDS, Hinman, right? Maybe some of the bigger ones. Yeah, location can become an issue, but it's not really an issue. But here's the thing. If you even think that you have a location issue at ODA, this pre-marketing can offset what you might perceive as a bad booth location. Okay, my philosophy on booth location is very clear. Let me share it with you. Number 1, there's no perfect location. Number 2, I'm not going to count on where I'm physically located to be the reason why I think I'm going to win, and I'm not going to let it be the reason I lose. Okay. Number 5, I view a well-designed pre-show marketing campaign as the closest thing to an insurance policy on all of the time and money that you're spending to execute. You think about all the places where the dollar goes: floor space, your physical booth, your show services, your transportation, your housing, your lodging, your meals, your marketing, all that stuff. And you think about all the areas where the dollars goes. Here's the thing. If you do get enough of the right people to your booth, all those areas end up as an investment. If you don't get enough of the right people to your booth, all those areas end up as an expense. So you got to make a choice here. Do you want to make an expensive appearance, or do you want to make a productive, profitable investment? I'm on the productive, profitable investment side. And I believe you are too. That's why you're here, and that's why you're watching this webinar today. Okay? So it all starts off with, now remember the mission: selectively attract and meaningfully interact with enough of the right people. So the first question is, who are the right people for you? Okay? So when you think about creating what I would call your visitor profile, your ideal visitor, your target visitor, you always want to start with job titles and functions. Okay? So you want to ask the question, who uses, who influences, who specifies, who recommends, and who makes buying decisions for what you sell. Now, I've worked with a lot of companies in the dental industry, and I'm going to tell you a very big mistake that a lot of dental marketers make is they underestimate the influence of the hygienists and the assistants. Okay? I've even seen hygienist assistants walk into booths and booth staffers not even engage them, right? That's called mistake colossal. Okay? Massive mistake. They might not be the decision makers, but they have influence. They're on the front line with patient care. And when they go around a show and they find things that they think are a good fit to improve patient care, improve practice management, improve profitability, and they take that back to the practice and share it with the dentists. The dentists are all ears. I was with a company years back that created and launched intraoral cameras into the dental marketplace. This was all the way back in the early 90s. And when I first met this company, they were making those mistakes. They were not paying attention to the assistants and the hygienists. But once they started paying attention to them and engaging them, they realized that they were key influencers. People always tell me, well, I just want the final decision maker. Well, today, it's rare that a single person is making the entire decision on everything, especially when it impacts staff performance, patient care, practice profitability. They make decisions as a team. Please do not underestimate the hygienists, the assistants, and the office managers, the practice managers, right? Okay, because they have influence. And then you want to think about what types of dental practices. Maybe you're just general practitioner. Maybe there are specialties that you tend to work into. Maybe you're focusing more on corporate dental practices versus independents. We are seeing a big movement in the industry where it's moving from fewer and fewer independent practices and more corporations buying the practices. So you think about that. You think about the area of specialization about the practice. You think about the number of operatories in the practice. You think about the annual revenue of the practice. You think about the number of staff on team, right? You think about where the practices are located. The ODA is a regional show. It's held in Columbus, Ohio, but it does pull from the surrounding states. And so what you do here is I want you to sit down and write a crystal clear profile of who your target visitor is. Okay. Now, ODA provides you access to demographic data that breaks it down by, job title, dentists, assistants, hygienists, office team members. They break it down by geography. So you have access to that information. So I want you to get crystal clear on who are the right people for you. Now, there's another thing that I want you to do. I want you to go inside the numbers, I call it. And I want you to now answer the question, how much is enough for you? You see, the ODA meeting is going to have over 3,000 dental professionals. But here's the thing. Not all of them are your target visitor, one. And two, let's be honest. You couldn't handle 3,000 visitors. I couldn't handle 3,000 visitors in 2 days. There's not a single exhibitor on that show that could handle 3,000 exhibitors in 2 days. So the question that you got to get clear on is how much is enough? Fortunately, got a super cool formula here that will help you do that. Grab your pen, grab a calculator. I want you to do this with me right now. I've got mine out right here. Let's go. Okay. So follow me. Okay. The show is open 16 hours. The exhibit hall is open. Okay. Now, there's things going on. There's unopposed hours. There's lunch in the hall. There's all kinds of activities and, interactions in the hall. That's your playing field. Okay. Now, the number I want you to write down your 16, but here's the number I want you to write. How many of your staff will be standing in your booth on average over those 16 hours for the purpose of talking to dental professionals? Okay. Look at the rule of thumb. The staffing rule of thumb is 50 square feet per staffer. So if you are in a 10 by 10 booth, you have the space for 2 of your people, maybe 3. Don't overstaff it. Don't put 4 or 5 people in a 10 by 10 booth. You know why? There will be no space for the attendees. Also, don't understaff it. If you say, well, it's only me, well, then what's the problem there? If you're talking to a dental professional and another one walks up, what do? You're dead in the water. And you might say, Jefferson, I'm it. There's nobody else. There are agencies that you can rent temporary staff to work your booth. They can play a meet, greet, qualify, and handoff role. I rent them all the time. And the last time I rented them, it's under $400 a day to rent them. So you're saving airfare, hotel, right? All of that. Under $400 a day. Don't understaff your booth. Don't overstaff it. Minimally 2 people in a 10, minimally. 3, probably not many more than 3. If you get many more than 3, you're going to be in trouble. Okay. So write down your number there. How many of your people are going to be standing in your booth on average? Now, listen carefully. Final piece of the puzzle. Okay. You're going to set a target number of interactions per hour per staffer. What do I mean by interaction? I just mean that you or somebody from your company standing, talking to a dental professional who visits your booth. That's what I mean. One-to-one, face-to-face interaction in your booth. Now, the question is, how many should you target? And the answer has been established now over 25 years. 3 to 5 interactions per hour per staffer. Look at the footnote on the bottom. 3, conservative. 4, moderate. 5, maybe aggressive, maybe not, depending on what you do, right? So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to pick one of those numbers. Okay, pick one of those numbers. 3, 4, or 5. Write it down. I want you to multiply it together, and you have what I'm going to argue is the most important number. In fact, I'm going to call it your magic number. Okay. So for you to win at the Ohio Dental Annual Session, you need to attract and meaningfully interact with 128 of the right people. Okay. Now, we're talking over 3,000 dental professionals attending the show. Let me divide that. 128 divided by 3,000. For you to win the game, you only need to attract 4.3% of the total audience to your booth. Doesn't sound that hard, does it? It's not that hard. Clarity is power. When you know, you don't need 500, you don't need 1,000, you can handle 500. With these numbers, you couldn't handle 500, 1,500, or whatever, right? So now the question becomes for you, who are the best 128 dental professionals? And what are you going to do between now and when you arrive in Columbus, Ohio on September 16th? And I will be there with you. I'm coming. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay. What are you going to do between now and when you arrive to do what? In the mind, on the agenda, 128 of the best people. You do this. You have won the game before kickoff. I can't think of a better game to play. That's a fun game to play, by the way, when you walk into the arena knowing the score already. And me and my clients have played it many, many times, and you can too. That's why we're sharing all this with you. You can totally do this, okay? All right, now, so let's talk about building your lists, right? So we answered the question, who are the right people? We're going to peel that onion a little bit more. How much is enough, okay? So start internally. Over 20 years ago, I developed a program that I called the CPN Triangle. CPN Triangle. Customer, prospect, new contact. Okay, look at the pyramid here. So where do you start? Talk to your sales team, right? Put together a list of customers you are now or have done business with. Start there. They already know you. They've done business with you. Invite them to the show. 4 reasons. Put a deposit in a relationship bank account. 1. Number 2, probe for additional opportunity in the account. Cross-sell, upsell. Number 3, ears to the ground for change. Who's coming? Who's going? What's new in the practice? Number 4, advocacy, endorsement. Okay? Never go into a show. Let me repeat that with a capital N. Never go into a show without inviting your customers. Why? The competition's knocking at the door very loudly. And if you don't do anything, you are leaving your customer base open for competitive attack. Okay. So start always with your customers. Then the quick cash flow, the place where you can generate fast revenue for your company, is the right side of the triangle. It's in the green. It's the prospects you are already in the sales cycle with. Okay. You're going to get them to the show for one reason: to move them one step closer to doing business with you. You're going to use the energy, the excitement, the educational sessions, your exhibit, your product experts, your presentation demonstration. You're going to leverage all of those assets to move them one step closer. Maybe that one step is to closure. Okay. This is the low-hanging fruit. And for whatever reason, listen carefully, marketers on this call with me, many salespeople tend to view a trade show as a speed bump. Oh, you're going to take me out of the field, and you're going to put me on this floor for 2 days, and I'm going to have to stand around and talk to all these looky-loos and tire kickers. No, only by choice, right? Make a list of prospects in your sales pipeline, identify where you are in the sales cycle, and ask, what is one thing we need to do to move them one step closer, and do it at the show. It's there for the taking. And the final on the pyramid, the blue, is new contacts. These are individuals or practices that you have no meaningful engagement with yet. So you're going to use the ODA exhibits to do what? Put a face with a face, get a meeting of the minds, begin a dialogue. Okay. So step one here, work with and through your sales team. If you sell through dealers and distributors, talk to them. Build a clear list containing all three types: customers, prospects, new contacts. Define your outcome. I just told you your customer outcomes, your prospects. Actually, I told you what the outcome is for all three types. Contact them 3 times, minimum 3 times between now and showtime. And it works best when you use multiple media. Don't just email, call. Mix it up. Email, telephone, LinkedIn, mail. Drop by their practice if you're local. Bring an invite, right? So 3 contacts, multiple channels. What you're going for here is 1 or 2 commitments. We're going to talk about this. Either, hey, let's meet on Thursday at 11 a.m. for 10 minutes, or Friday at 1 p.m. for 10 minutes, a confirmed appointment, or get a verbal commitment. Yes, I'm coming to the show. Yes, I want to meet with you. Can't really nail down the exact day or time, but definitely going to meet with you at the show. And that's what you're going for, okay? And if you want to jumpstart this and you have a sales team or dealer distributors, consider creating a contest. Put a carrot out there saying the sales rep, the dealer, the distributor that gets the highest percentage of CPS to the list and to our booth gets some form of a reward after the show, right? Motivate, right? Reward, right? Reward the behavior that you want to induce, right? So there you go. That's called the CPN triangle. And if you did this, I can tell you what you're going to have in your booth. You're going to have 2 things in your booth. You're going to have a really motivated booth staff, which is important. You're going to have a lot of high value interactions in the booth. 2, let me give you the baker's dozen. And you're going to have a nice cross section: customers, prospects, new opportunities. That's the triple win. Okay. All right. Best list sources. Where do you really get and build your lists? Number 1, start internally. You already have them. They're in your company database. Customers, prospects, people that you've been trying to get in touch with. Now, August 28th, write that deadline down. We're setting here. Today is the 17th. So next Friday, you can get a free pre-show mailing list of attendees that are registered for the show. Free. You know how much most shows charge? Actually, 2 points on most shows. Number 1, most don't even give them away at all now. 1. And 2, if they do, they charge $500, $1,000, $1,500. Okay? ODA gives it to you for free. It doesn't get any easier than free. So put that deadline, August 28th. Make sure you grab that list. They've pre-registered for the show. They're planning on coming. You can make contact with them. Why would you not do that? I can't think of a reason why you shouldn't. Okay, also, you've been in other dental meetings this year. You were in this meeting last year. Who visited your booth at those meetings? Put them on your list, right? Anybody who has inquired about your products and services over the last 6 to 12 months, put them on the list. Social media. Are you working social media? LinkedIn for the B2B space, but maybe it's Facebook for you. Maybe it's Instagram for you, right? So work your social media. Let people know you're going to be there. Tell them about what they're going to see, do, learn, get in your booth, right? Work through your distributors if you sell through dealer distributors. Professional journal readers, digital and/or print. Those are really good list sources. So what I want you to do is identify which of these sources you're going to use, and I want you to compile a list, okay, of target visitors. Now, many people ask, how big does that list need to be? Well, let's go back to our exhibit interaction capacity. If you had a goal of 128 interactions, try to make that list 3 to 5 times larger than your interaction capacity. 3 to 5 times, okay? Because you're not going to get 100% response, right? 3 to 5 times. So now in this case, your list would be 650 to 800 names deep. You're in great shape, right? Okay. Now, okay, we got to talk here. Okay, you've got to give people a big reason why. You know, there's going to be 120 plus other booths at the show. The average attendee is probably going to stop and visit at about 15 to 25 of them at best. You want to be one of those 15 to 25. So you better come up with a reason why, right? So what I want you to do is you grab their attention in your pre-show communications. There are 3 things that will cut through the filters and grab their attention. When it comes to trade show, top of the list, NEW, new is a magnet. If I stood at the door at the ODA annual meeting and asked 100 dental professionals walking into the exhibit hall, and I asked them, why do you visit the exhibit hall? Research tells me that on average, 91 would tell me to see what and who is new. If you have something new, scream it from the top of the mountain. It's one of the primary reasons why they attend shows, and it's one of the primary reasons why they enter the exhibit hall. I'm amazed at how many times I've looked at booths. Exhibitor has something new in the booth. They've got it on a table in the back corner of the booth with a tiny little 12-point sign that says new product, and there's a sales rep standing in front of it with their arms crossed. Okay? New is a magnet. Number 2, whether you realize it or not, you're in the business of solving problems and helping people seize opportunities. In the B2B world, clarity on who your target customer is, what problems they are grappling with that you can help them address, that's your hook, okay? We could argue that we're all in business for the purpose of solving our customers' problems. So I'm going to give you some questions in a moment. Number 3, really big in the human health industry, including dental. They come to learn. And they don't only learn in the CME sessions, you know, the sessions where they get credit. They learn in the exhibit hall. They learn from you. You're the subject matter expert on what you do. Here's a great question. What can you, in a 3-minute interaction, teach a dental professional that's going to help them improve their patient care, their practice management, their career development, or their profitability? What can you teach them in 3 to 5 minutes in your booth? I'm telling you, if you will dangle learning, they'll come running. Okay? So those are your 3 big hooks. Something new, solve a problem, teach them something, right? And maybe you can hit all 3 of those. If you can hit all 3 of those, you're going to have a super strong value proposition, okay? And these will cut through the filters. You know, we're all getting so much content. We notice what's relevant to us. We engage with what's important to us, okay? Now you've got to create the interest. So I want you to think about, I want you to gather your team next week, right? This week, we're only on Monday. Do this by Friday. Ask yourself, who is our target customer and what situations are they experiencing in their practice that we can help them solve? Okay, situations, right? Integrate these situations into your marketing communications and your booth graphics and your video panel and your product demonstration and your exhibitor listing. Integrate them everywhere, right? Because that's what will capture people's attention. Everybody's searching for relevancy. When they look at anything, the brain is immediately searching, is this relevant to me? If they go, it is, then they'll engage, okay? But it's your job to quickly establish relevance. Okay, so here's the questions that I want you and your team to get together and spend 30 to 45 minutes on and come up with your best answers. So what are you going to feature in your booth? What's going to be your lead? If you have multiple products, new, top of the mind, bread and butter. What problems do they help dental professionals solve? What opportunities do they help them see and seize? How can you help them deliver better dental services? How can you save them time, reduce the length of the patient visits? How do you save them money, right? How do you improve patient care? How do you make the dental experience more pleasant? You know, we know there's a lot of people out there that are petrified to go to dentists, right? Because they fear the experience. How can you improve their practice management processes, right? How can individually, you're talking to a hygienist, an assistant, and a practice manager, a dentist. How can you enhance their career, right? How can you make their job easier, more satisfying, less stressful, right? How can you increase revenue, get more patients, increase the number of services they're purchasing, profitability? These are the questions that are going to help you find your hook. And when you find your hook, okay, you're going to use a value proposition template. Here's what it looks like. Hook. Struggling with this? Experiencing too many no-shows, too many patient no-shows? Tired of patient no-shows? Yeah. Opportunity. Interested in, curious about, want to learn more about? Hook. Insert your answers. Call to action 1. Plan now to visit us. ODA booth 849. Why? You'll see, you'll do, you'll learn, and you'll get. That is the visitor experience. That's what you're really selling. You're trying to help them understand why, out of all the educational sessions and the 120 other exhibitors, why spending 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes with you is worth their time. And it's your job to do that. Don't assume they're going to know why, right? And call them to action again. Schedule a meeting with us now. Go to our landing page, grab this or that. Put us on your must-see list while you're at the show. And there it is. And once you find your value proposition, you're going to communicate it through as many channels as you can, as many times as you can. The power of repetition, the power of spaced repetition, the power of multiple channels, right? They get an email. They see it on LinkedIn. They get a voicemail. They get a postcard in the mail, right? They walk into the hall. They see it on your exhibit backdrop. You have a flat panel in your booth. It's calling out the problem, right? That's what we're talking about here. The why precedes the what and the how. When there's a big enough why, people will search for the how. Your job is to deliver the why. Okay? All right, Q&A. I got a few more minutes to go, but if something has flashed into your mind on this topic, go ahead and there, type that question in. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad question. And I'm going to keep on rocking. Okay. All right. Now so what we did was we identified who are the right people, how much is enough, what is your why they should come visit and interact with you, right? And now we're going to get into how do you get the word out. Okay. So there's 2 channels for getting the word out. You start in-house, DIY. These are things that you can and should be doing on your own. Then you look at what ODA makes available to you. So let's do the DIY first. Your house lists. I talked to you about that. Sort it by customer, group customers, prospects, new contacts. Think about recency. When was the last contact? When was the last transaction? Make sure you have real clear messaging for each group, as each group will require different messaging. You have a website. I hope that you're going to be exhibiting at ODA is on your homepage. You can use the show logo, work with ODA, but visit us at booth. See, do, learn, get. Click here to calendar it. Build anticipation. Tease them about what's coming. Put little teaser videos, right? Have content up there. Grab our patient care checklist, right? Come to our landing page. Come to our site. Social media. Create a little posting calendar. You know, don't just sell on everything. Talk about the problem. The formula in storytelling is a character has a problem and they meet a guide and the guide has a plan, and the guide shows them what success will look like, what failure will look like, and the guide calls them to action. That's the narrative of a story. Character, problem, guide, action plan, call to action. That's what you want to do. The videos, short little videos, maybe Instagram, maybe they're on Instagram, maybe they're on Facebook. TikTok, maybe they're on TikTok. Okay. Email. You have email addresses? Make sure you have the first 3 letters of your email needs to be ODA in all caps, colon, and then a question. The human brain has a hard time resisting questions. Questions create curiosity. Curiosity creates interest. Interest creates engagement. Engagement creates commitment, right? So write a really short, pithy, question-based subject line. Tired of, struggling with, had enough of, interested in, curious about, want to know about, want to learn more about. There you go. Insert, fill it in. Let's go. Okay. Event landing pages. What an overlooked opportunity for every exhibitor. I'm amazed at how few exhibitors will create a specific landing page for their trade show exhibit, and they'll, as a place to drive, to capture contact information, to deliver pre-show content, and to schedule appointments with people. Okay. Mail. Hey, let's not forget about the mailbox. You know why? There ain't much clutter in the mailbox. You know where the clutter is. It's in the email box. The mailbox is wide open. Oversized postcard, show logo, hook, see, do, learn, get, bring to the show, get this. You can get those cards out for about $1.20 a card. If you only need to mail 500-600, what's the problem? Not much, right? $700-800. Easy peasy, right? Personalized invitations, oversized postcards. You got phone numbers? We need to get back on the phone. We really do. Even if you're going to voicemail, right? Whether your reps are calling, whether someone from your company, there's voice broadcasting firms that you can use that can deliver messages for 6 cents a minute. 6 cents a minute? Pre-recorded message that lands in their voicemail box. You got cell phones? Man, let's get some texts out. Let's dial for dollars, right? So all this stuff you can do on your own, okay? So here's an example of an event landing page. Check this out. Connect with us, We're going digital. We're going to be there to help you make the most of the way. Learn more. Look, they're using the learning hook. Clean design, clear brand identity, crystal clear call to action. Don't make it long, keep it short. Landing page with many actions. Request a demo. Calendaring, join a session. Look at the calendaring on here. Look at the chatbot on here. Event landing pages. These things, you can set these things up in an hour today. There's a company I've used multiple times called Lead Pages, L-E-A-D Pages. Set up a landing page in less than an hour. Make it centerpiece for all your pre-marketing activity, right? Okay, next. Take a look at what ODA makes available, okay? Because when you use the ODA opportunities, you're getting what I call the halo effect. ODA already has an incredible brand in the space, and you're leveraging their brand. So, a couple marketing ops, the free pre-show mailing list, okay? The mailer has to be about participation in the show, and the show logo needs to be on it, right? Beyond that, it's yours, okay? Show specials, free promotion on the mobile app. You've got a September 10 deadline. Don't miss it. If you have the kind of product or service that isn't a long, complex purchase, it's an easy, not a complex sale. It's an easy show specials can absolutely drive. Whether it is discounted pricing, whether it is free shipping, whether it is extended payment terms, whether it is like a BOGO thing, buy one, get one free, whatever, right? ODA Today, the monthly publication. What's great about trade publication is readership of trade publications goes up in the months before a show. Good time to be in there, especially if there's a show focus issue. Boy, that's absolutely the one. You can advertise on the floor plan, okay? The show floor plan page. And there's two things. There's an advanced profile page where a homepage with a video, social media links, and then you can put up brochures and literature and all that. And then there's different sponsorship packages that are available. Okay. So for more information about these, reach out to Amy. Amy's awesome. She's here to help you succeed, and she can kind of show you what the difference between, okay, you get a basic listing, but I'm going to encourage most of you to take a look at the enhanced profile because it offers a lot more firepower, okay? And it's only a couple $100. I'm telling you, it is worth every single dollar, okay? Now, there's an event that I really want to put in the spotlight here today. It's Hops and Shops. So on Thursday from 4:30 to 6, there's going to be Ohio craft beers. How cool is that? From the local area. Kegs at various stations all throughout the exhibit hall with free pours for attendees. If we learned anything about the trade show business, I've been around it over 30 years, and there's one thing I know to be true. If you offer free drinks, people come, right? So really good thing to be a part of. But also, and there's cash bars available if they want something beyond these craft beers, okay? And so the stations have snacks, desserts, apps. There's a beer station with the local IPAs, street tacos, a walking pizza, croquets, small bites. And what's cool about these is the sponsorship. Your logo, you're listed as a sponsor of it, and you're building goodwill with the audience, okay? And what's also cool is that most of the beer stations can get positioned right near your booth, and for the whopping fee of $1,500. That is ridiculously cheap. I've seen this type of an opportunity in many shows go for $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000. If you're serious about really brand awareness, getting in the mind, giving to the industry, and driving traffic, Hops and Shops, absolute no-brainer. Amy or Suzanne, is there a limited number of sponsorships available for this up?
Yeah, so there are 6 total sponsorships available. It kind of works out to 3 beer stands and 3 food stands, although that's kind of interchangeable. But for right now, we're limited to 6, and we've got one secured right now, so there's really only 5 left.
Yeah, there's only 5 left. Hey, I'm serious. People who are about brand awareness, driving traffic, and making a deposit into the emotional bank account of your customers, this is the easy peasy. This is the easy peasy one, and that's a really affordable sponsorship. And in fact, I'm surprised it's that low, honestly. So 5 available. If you're serious, make sure you contact Amy sooner rather than later, because you want to reach out 3 weeks from now, and Amy goes, yeah, no, they're all sold out, right? So speed wins, okay? All right. We talked about those commitments that you're trying to get before the show. I want to circle back on those and give you just a few more strategies here before we wind down. The confirmed appointment. It's the hardest to get, but it's gold. It's literally like gold. When I say a confirmed appointment, I mean it's for a specific day, time, and place. And I mean it's on your calendar and their calendar, okay? That's why having a tool, like if you set up a landing page, or if you're not familiar with Calendly, 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 if you're not familiar with that, you got to get familiar with that. Incredible tool. You could take your booth, your staff, and set up your entire 10, 15-minute blocks, and one click shows up on their calendar, shows up on yours, and both of you get reminded. Calendly, okay? Be sure to remind them the day prior and day of, okay? And offer some form of hey, as our way of saying thanks. When you come by our booth, we got something cool waiting for you at the booth, okay? The verbal commitment. This is where you want to get the person to raise their hand and go, yes, I'm coming to ODA. I want to meet with you, but I can't really nail down that day and time. Once again, you're going to want to remind them day prior and day of, which is another reason to be capturing cell phone numbers in your contact. And once again, offering a reward beyond what they're going to learn by visiting your booth for showing up, okay? So to increase the response rate to your outreach, number 1, always have a clear and visible call to action. Don't assume people know what you want them to do. Put us on your show planner. bring this to the booth to pick up this or that. Download this content on our landing page or website. Schedule a demo or a brief appointment with us. Don't ask for more than 15 minutes. Do not ask for more than 15 minutes. Keep it 15 minutes or less. Like or comment, share this post, right? Share it on social media. And finally, offer a thoughtful reward, okay? So as I walked around the show floor last year, I was at ODA and I was looking at a lot of things. I saw a lot of exhibitors giving away tchotchkes. I saw a lot of exhibitors giving away plus or minus the same stuff. A lot of it that is ho-hum and is going to either get thrown away or is not going to make it home. So what makes a great reward? Number one, unique, right? Not the same thing everyone else is. I mean, who really needs another cheap pen, right? Nobody, right? Make it useful, something they can physically keep on them and use in their practice. Make it quality, right? Don't give away junk, right? If you can tie it into a message or a theme, you can get a great response with it, right? I'll show you an example of something that I did at a show, okay? So my theme for my show was success is measured by the companies you keep. Hey, you could do this in the demo. Practice success is measured by the patients you keep. How do you measure up? My theme. I used a tape measure, let me get it up here, with a built-in calculator and a Post-it pad. And this was my reward for responding. Hey, give us 5 minutes at your booth and we'll quickly calculate your cost of, in this example, patient attrition. And we'll give you a few ideas to increase patient retention, whether you work with us or not. Now, what I would do is use this during the interaction. I would ask them 2 questions. How many of your patients did not come back last year? 150. What is the revenue value of a single patient to you over the course of a year? 150 times $3,000. How much is that? That's $450,000. So useful, you could use it during the interaction to calculate the cost of patient attrition, right? Success is measured by the patients you keep. It's a tape measure, right? And it has a handy dandy light on it. So, and by the way, my cost for this was about $6.50 per unit. And when I wasn't giving it as a reward to those who preset time, I was using it to hook attendees from the aisle. I would hand it to them during the interaction and let them use it, okay? Just an example to get your brain thinking there, okay? Now, how do you deliver rewards? Contests, right? Or raffles. That's the lazy person's way. You know why? Question, does anybody on here know a friend of a friend that has won the Publishers Clearinghouse giveaway? If you have, please go to React and raise your thumb right now. Anybody that knows someone who's won the Publishers Clearinghouse giveaway? No thumbs. I've been asking that question for 15 years. No one has ever answered. What am I saying? Contests are the weakest way. Why? Does anybody really win? Who wins? Do they select who's going to win, or is it truly random? If you have nothing else, contest. Free gift at booth. Hey, give us 5 minutes at the booth. We'll calculate your cost of patient attrition, and we got a super cool tape measure calculator for you. Send it out. Send it in advance. Hey, it's our way of saying thanks. When you drop by our booth to talk about this, put the wood in the fire if you want heat. One of my favorites, half of something, the other half's at the booth, and send it in advance. Okay, a couple examples. Gift cards are hot. Starbucks gift cards. There's some great restaurants right around the convention center. I know Martini's. We've dined there a few times. We love that place. Hey, we're going to raffle away a $50 or $100 gift card each day, for Martini's across the street or whatever, right? But Starbucks gift card, $10, right? Whatever. Useful device chargers like this, quick chargers, smart play, right? Hey, if their phone's going down, you're the one that saves them. That's a great giveaway. Wearables are hot, whether it's glasses, pedometers, earbuds, watches, things like that. Sending them half of something. Pen and pencil set is what I do when I'm targeting C-level. I'll say, pencil us in for 5 minutes while you're at to learn or do. I'll send the pen and pencil set up front. The pencil will be in the box. The pen is at the booth. When I want to knock this through the top, I'll engrave their name on the pen and pencil set, and I'll have their pen at my booth. I've gotten as high as 75% response. You know what else is hot right now too? Charitable donations. Charitable donations in their name. Super hot. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Keep your awareness level high at the show. Make sure your booth quickly answers the what you do and why they should care. Be proactive. Don't sit down. Don't stand around talking to one another. Stand up, put a smile on your face, keep your body language open, make eye contact, greet every single person that passes your booth. Watch how many look at your booth and watch how many stop. Okay. Get cell phone numbers. Send those text messages to remind about your appointments and your verbal commitments. Have something interactive where they're learning and they're using their hands and their mind. They're engaging, right? Interactive outperforms static. And find that unique giveaway or reward for visiting and engaging. Okay. Keep your booth staff. Some key points here. Let me get all this up because we're near the buzzer. Make sure you have enough. We talked about it. Have a mix. Don't just put salespeople in the booth, right? They want to interact with subject matter experts. Number 4, wear branded apparel. It immediately identifies you as a booth staff and it carries your brand all around the convention center and for that matter, Columbus, right? Look and act like you want to be there. Half the battle of talking to people a host show is just looking and acting like you want to be there. Work the perimeter of your booth, okay? Don't just let people pass by. Stand up, open your body posture, put a smile on your face, make eye contact, greet people. Don't let anybody enter and exit your booth unengaged, okay? So train your staff because all this pre-work that you do is important, but your booth staff can also make or break your success. All right, with that, I have covered a fire hose here in about 48 minutes. I'm going to take a look in the question queue, and while I do, I'm going to bring Suzanne just for any additional thoughts and or closing comments. Suzanne?
Thank you so much, Jefferson. We always appreciate your time on this, and even Amy and I always learn something and take something away. Again, to all the exhibitors that are out there, please know that your success at this show means a lot to us. Please give us comments back, fill out the survey that you'll see at the end of this meeting and let us know how to help you more. If there's any ideas that you have or anything that Jefferson said that you'd like to participate with, please reach out to Amy or I and we'd be glad to help you. Thank you again, and thank you, Jefferson.
Yeah, thanks, Suzanne. Hey, let me, one final point, the Best of Show contest. We are trying to energize the exhibit hall and we need your help, right? We're going to do everything we can do to get the dental professionals to Columbus, into the convention center and into the hall, but we need your help. Okay, that's why we're launching the Best of Show contest. So we're going to be looking at every booth in the show. You don't have to register or do anything. And we're going to have 5 different categories of winners. We're going to have best overall booth, somebody who we feel really nails it on all the points. Best visual communication, which booth we feel is really quickly and visually telling their story. Best immersive experience, something to do in the booth. Best booth staff. And as Suzanne mentioned at the beginning, the attendee or the Dental Professionals Choice Awards, where they are going to go onto the mobile app and they're going to vote for a winner. So we're having 5 categories of winners, and you're going to get a super cool winners like trophy plaque. We're going to come by to a photo op with the ODA team, and you're going to get some visibility during and after the show that is worth the weight in gold. So here's what I'm closing on. Bring your A game. Bring excitement, bring energy. This is the gathering of the Ohio and the Midwest dental community. They're counting on you to make that exhibit hall worthy of their time. Bring your creativity, bring your excellence, bring your energy. And if you will do the 2 things we talked about in here, design that killer booth and that visitor experience and promote it, you are on your way to an incredible ODA annual meeting. I can't wait to see you there. Suzanne, Amy, thank you for caring so much about your exhibitors to continue to do this. And for all of you watching live and those of you who are watching on replay, thanks for investing the time. You're an important part of this. Let's go get this. We'll see you in Columbus very soon. Have a great rest of your summer. Thank you.